All right, folks, we're only halfway through this week, but it's already been a spicy one with breaking news just coming out that the Ethereum Foundation is potentially being investigated. Wait, hold up. I thought we were just crazy lunatic whack job conspiracy theorists. You mean to tell me the ETHgate is actually real? Uh-oh. And then we have Gensler and the SEC getting absolutely roasted in Congress today. Love to see that. Would like a little bit more action, but it's a good start to at least roast them on the public platform there in the halls of Congress. Love to see it. And another thing that we do like to see is the fact that Ripple is now saying it's actually difficult to meet demand. Wait, what? I thought nobody was using this little XRP token. I thought all these companies and partners were just partnered up with Ripple, but they weren't using XRP. Oh, wait, we're going to fact check that narrative as well today. Folks, I appreciate everyone for stopping by. Please remember that all of our community resources are at my website, zachrector.com. I currently don't have any sponsors, so the only way that this show gets supported is through your efforts by liking the video, sharing it out far and wide, and going to my website, zachrector.com, using our affiliates, signing up for Patreon, joining our private community, where we try to bring the most value here in the digital asset and investing space. I appreciate all of you guys for stopping by. Without further ado, let's get right on into it. A couple data points on the economy. In the history of modern finance, no single indicator has done a better job of predicting when the next global recession will start than when the Bank of Japan starts raising rates. Foolproof. From Peter Berezin. Look at this chart, folks. This is Japan monetary policy rate. You can see it right here. Every time the Bank of Japan raises rates, and this is the first time in 17 years that the Bank of Japan is raising rates. Okay. So it is opening up right now as we speak, and this is happening at a time when we can also report that more companies have defaulted on their debt in 2024 than in any start to the year since the global financial crisis. I could list off another 100 data points like that. The real ones get the point, get the message, and understand what's taking place on Main Street. As I've been saying, we've already headed into recession. The only thing that isn't in a recession is the markets, which are completely disconnected from reality. The valuations can't be justified, but this is what happens in blow-off top rallies that have been fueled by rampant money printing. Now, I'm going to be dropping an update too. We got the FOMC meeting happening as well. We expect them to not raise rates, not cut rates, but leave them unchanged once again. And the objective here, keeping them as high for as long as possible here in the United States. Meanwhile, Bank of Japan already bumped them, and that's setting the indicator that we are potentially heading into a global recession. I would argue we're already in one. They've just fabricated the data to be able to read off headlines saying that everything's fine, A-OK, and then they get you to focus back on meme coins pumping, back on stocks pumping, and it's all one big speculation party. And we've seen time and time again how these stories end, and it's not pleasant. Now, speaking of a story that might not end so pleasant for some, I thought ETHgate was just a crazy, whack job, lunatic, silly talk. What do we got here, folks? Well, this is reporting here from CoinDesk this morning. Ethereum Foundation under investigation by state authority. Now, they were vague in the announcement here. Remember, they're a Swiss nonprofit organization. Yeah, that's a joke. Nonprofit. Okay, sure. At the heart of the Ethereum ecosystem, some would argue maybe controlling the Ethereum ecosystem. But nonetheless, let's just continue on here. What they did is they just changed. According to the GitHub commit dated February 26, 2024, quote, "We have received a voluntary inquiry from a state authority that included a requirement for confidentiality." Now, you continue down. You have, in the U.S., investors await an outcome on the prospects of an Ether ETF, which faces a final deadline in late May for some applications. Previously, the Ethereum Foundation's website contained the following disclosure, quote, "The Ethereum Foundation, stiff-tongued Ethereum, has never been contacted by any agency in the world in a way which requires that contact not be disclosed. Stiff-tongued Ethereum will publicly disclose any sort of inquiry from government agencies that falls outside the scope of regular business operations." The footer was removed in the February 26th GitHub commit, along with the website's warranty canary, according to the change log. A warrant canary is usually some form of text or visual warning, like a colorful bird in the case of the Ethereum Foundation, which some companies include on their website to indicate they've never been served with a secret government subpoena or document request. And so as I've been saying, we're about to make this thing go viral, folks. See, there is something there. There is a there, right? These people think that we've just been dreaming this up. We're just butthurt because XRP hasn't pumped yet. No, we want to save our country. It's bigger than XRP. What are the 3 points of ETHgate? Say them with me. First part, damage is done to the XRP community with the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. Part 2, the profit made from the Ethereum Foundation getting the free pass, right? Joseph Lubin and the gang, all the early investors. Part 3 is saving all of our capital markets, which have been corrupted and hijacked. And it's not just us talking about it. Now we're seeing the SEC get absolutely ripped in the halls of Congress, and that's a good start. Let's get some accountability. And when you guys are ready for the facts, the documents, the evidence, and the timeline that hasn't been in dispute, we are ready to present that to you as well. The ETHgate folder just keeps on a-growing. Folks, take a listen on this one. Gensler getting put on blast and mentioning XRP. Let's listen in.
Saw Mr. Hill, who is also the chair of the Subcommittee on Digital Assets, Financial Technology, and Inclusion, is now recognized for 5 minutes.
I thank the chairman. I thank our panel for being with us today. We've heard directly from the SEC director level officials over the course of the last few months, and we've certainly enjoyed having Chairman Gensler here to have his point of view on behalf of the commission. So it's great to have your expertise, and we thank you for being with us. You know, not only has the SEC lost in the court of public opinion, even on a bipartisan base here on Capitol Hill, but the agency is now getting trampled by the federal courts as well, especially as it relates to digital assets. In July 2023, a New York judge determined that Ripple Labs did not violate federal securities law by selling its XRP token on public exchanges. In fact, in that case, they were referred to as being arbitrary and capricious. Last August, the court rejected the SEC's reasoning for blocking Grayscale's Bitcoin trust from converting to an exchange-traded fund. And just in the last few days, a Utah judge imposed sanctions on the SEC for, quote, bad faith conduct and, open quote, gross abuse of power, close quote, that the commission had demonstrated in a case against Dropbox. And this is important because we haven't talked about this in a long time in this committee.
Now, there's tough talk per usual. Love to see it. Good start. Let's actually get some accountability. Let's issue a subpoena. Let's get Gensler there to answer for himself. Not do his normal dance and moving around and dancing around the question, but actually asking him directly, actually issuing subpoenas, actually bringing accountability, and actually providing clarity on digital assets might help as well. The reason why we've gotten this far is because Congress has been sitting on their you-know-what, collecting fat checks from their sponsors. And meanwhile, they've been allowing the SEC to continue with this regulation by enforcement and the regulatory capture of our capital markets, not just crypto, but all of our capital markets as well. Well, they let all these fraud companies come IPO on our markets and dump on our people. Right? These are 401ks, pensions, retirement accounts that are getting shielded into fraud IPOs because the SEC doesn't care. They just allow it to go through as long as you play ball with them. And that's exactly what Ethereum is in a nutshell, right? It's the Ethereum token factory, tens of thousands of fraud tokens being created. And who does it enrich? The early insiders, right? And so this is what we've been highlighting. We're not crazy. This isn't a conspiracy theory. It is a conspiracy, and it is real. It's been proven as a fact. We have the timeline, the evidence, and it's not in dispute. When anybody's ready to get it delivered to them, we can deliver it to them, and we can start to get some accountability here. That would be great and fantastic. But in the meantime, you got folks that are, thinking that nothing's here, thinking that we need to pipe down. I want you to remember this. Remember this moment. All of the people that told us that we need to sit down and shut up and not talk about ETHgate. Oh, if you guys would just build on the XRPO. How can I build on any blockchain when I don't know if the SEC is going to come strike me down, right? Even if I try to approach the SEC, even if I try to provide all of the disclosures, everything, even if I don't do an ICO like Ripple didn't, right? You still have our government that's attacking us. So no, I can't just build. Just build, bro. No. Okay, I'd love to build. I also need to save our country too. That's part of our objective. So remember, 3 parts to ETHgate. Damage is done to the XRP community. Part 2 is the profit made from the ETH free pass. And part 3 is regulatory capture of all of our capital markets, not just digital assets, not just crypto. This is regulatory capture of our entire capital markets. Okay. And this is why we're going to continue to apply pressure, and we're going to continue to fight the good fight. Speaking of building, we got some builders that are making it happen. Let me tell you what, Mayuka, I've seen a lot of hype about XLS 56D atomic transactions lately. This is another amendment on its way to the XRP ledger, more utility. So many interesting ideas flying around. What excites you about atomic transactions on the XRP ledger? I'd love to hear your potential uses. Now, I'm going to deep dive this one a little bit further. The simple overview of this is essentially it's going to allow developers and builders to get paid for their services, right? You'll be able to do batch transactions and atomic transactions. And it's, it's interesting. We keep on adding features like this, which is like smart contracts light version, right? It's like hooks light, right? Where basically it's going to allow, folks to settle atomic transactions across the ledger, and people that are building, developing, or whatever are going to be able to get paid out, and you'll be able to set up kind of business models on the XRPL is essentially what this is going to do. I'm going to do a further deep dive on this one later, but in a nutshell, another amendment that's going to bring more utility, and this is what we need. We don't want, playing around with, memes on the ledger is great. I'm all for memes. Let's have some fun. That's good. I'm glad that everybody's having fun with memes. That's fantastic. But what we really want is we want to enable businesses to build business models on the XRP ledger, or the XRP ledger can be integrated into their business model. And that's what this amendment's going to do. Another amendment, speaking of amendments, obviously we have the automated market maker amendment is going to be going live here in just 2 days. So we'll continue to watch that one. Now, as I titled this session here today, we have Marcus Infanger, and he is the SVP of Ripple X. And before I play that clip, I just want to say this is where you'll listen in here. And he talks about they're actually struggling to meet demand. Well, I didn't say they're struggling. I think he said it's hard to meet demand for XRP right now. And then listen in, he talks about going from billions to trillions. And I asked this question to my live show audience last night. I said, do you think that Ripple's doing all this, spending $200 million in this lawsuit, continuing to grow and expand the company and do all these deals so that they can just push XRP to $1, to $2, to $3? Do you think that that's the end goal for a company that wants to put a dent in the universe to make XRP a world reserve digital currency? You think that they just are looking to get this thing up to a couple bucks, $5, $10? You think that that's the end goal for Ripple? And remember, Ripple is just one of the entities that's working on the XRP ledger and adding to the core infrastructure. And now we have a network of developers and builders that are going to be given tools so that we can all be building on this thing. Ripple's at the higher level working with institutions and enterprise utility. And as I dropped in the video earlier today, they just received 2 awards, one for the best cross-border payments platform for Ripple, and then Medico won the best DeFi platform. And so folks think that, Ripple's not really caring about DeFi. We don't have DeFi. Oh, we got some DeFi coming. First off, we needed the tools. First off, we needed the utilities. That's coming with the amendments. AMM live in a couple days. Cross-chain bridge live here soon. Decentralized identity, atomic batch transactions. We already just got clawbacks. That's all coming, right? And now we're going to build out the DeFi ecosystem. And Ripple definitely, they're winning awards already. Medico, best DeFi use case, right? Best DeFi platform. So it's not only do we have DeFi, we're going to have some of the best DeFi and institutional level DeFi, not some kids moving Mickey Mouse coins around. Let's listen in here. Marcus Infanger speaking at the Digital Asset Summit in London. Take a listen in here, folks.
Yeah. No, but I'm going to slightly restate your question. So why are blockchains well suited to solve pain points in payments? And so look, I start with blockchains are global networks out of the gate, right? And some of them are very efficient. So for example, the XRP ledger, which we work with, has been facilitating value transfer in 3 to 5 seconds consistently throughout a period of almost 12 years at a fraction of a cent, right? Without any security incidents on the network. And so basically the way how Ripple's solution works is it's integrating with XRP, the digital asset, and basically an application layer that then facilitates cross-border payments fiat to fiat instantly in real time with real-time tracking, bridged by this digital asset. That the underlying network is just like highly efficient to facilitate that. And so the other massive pain point that's being relieved on that is that there's no need for pre-funding, and it's available 24/7. And look, I mean, the traction speaks for itself. We have hundreds of customers in like 55 countries using this on a daily basis. Again, billions of dollars every year. And you know, it's more often than not actually hard to meet the whole demand we're seeing. And so, look, we're excited to continue to innovate. How can we insert more blockchain technology and take this from the billions into the trillions eventually?
Tell you what, folks, that's a good problem to have, right? When your business is struggling to keep up with demand, that's always a good problem to have. You love to see it. If you guys appreciate this update, you guys know what to do. I'll see you in the next one. God bless you all. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.